Here, catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The bag is packed with the sticks, the drinks are cold, and the scorecard's ready to go. Time to hit the links.
I am completely at the mercy of you, which is so cool to me in golf.
Yeah, you're hoping that you don't have to take the club out of your hand if I go OB and we're back on the tee.
This is On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips.
I mean, there's nobody saved that team.
No, it's Tiger effing Woods.
Yeah. Again, and the closest you can get.
They might need a name.
Broadcasting live from Erin Hills Golf Course, alongside Bally Sports' Stephen Watson. Here's Gabe Neitzel.
That's right. We are at one of our favorite places in Wisconsin, Erin Hills. And there's a reason we are at Erin Hills today, because, Stephen, not only is this one of our favorite places.
It's our happy place. We can just call it what it is.
Well, it is our happy place. But you know who else really loves this place? The USGA.
This place called the USGA.
Maybe you've heard of it. Julia Pine, who is the Director of Communications, here at Erin Hills with us. Exciting announcement today, Julia. What was announced right here at Erin Hills earlier today?
Yeah, we're thrilled. So obviously in 248 days we have the U.S. Women's Open. People already knew that here.
But who's counting?
Yes, who's counting? But today we announced 5 more championships, 5 amateur championships over the next 15 years. So that'll be both 4-balls, both amateurs, which personally, not that I pick favorites, are my favorite of our USGA events, and the junior amateur. So 5 more championships, and in total, that will mean that Erin Hills has hosted 9 different USGA events. This place isn't that old, so that's really a testament to them that they will have 9 different USGA championships.
Another representative of the USGA described this place as a cathedral of golf. Why do you guys love this place so much?
Yeah, so 2 things really make for a great experience from a USGA championship perspective. First and foremost, the golf course. I mean, these are our national championships. We only take them to the best courses in the country, and so Erin Hills is that. And then secondly, we call it the community, but that's both the community around us and the community here. And as you guys know, this place is great because of the people that are here. So they're true partners for us. I mean, everything through the entire planning stage, they are true partners in every sake of the word.
Julia Pine, Director of Communications from the USGA, joining us here on the tee because the USGA, that's right, coming back for 5 more championships here at Erin Hills, and that's not including the one, as she mentioned, 248 days away, the 80th U.S. Women's Open. Why are the amateur events some of your favorites? Because, I mean, the Mid-Am was out here. That was fantastic, and I agree with you. A lot of these amateur events can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we see the professionals play week in and week out, and there's just something about the uniqueness of a USGA Amateur Championship that until you've been to one, I'm not sure you can really wrap your head around what that experience is like. And I should say been to one or watched it on TV. First of all, match play is special. There's something about match play that's so unique. You can watch 2 people play in a match. You could have never heard of them before. They may be 2 people in the junior amateur that one day are going to go on to win majors. So you're going to want to know their name. But right away you watch a match and you're drawn to someone. It's that head-to-head competition that you don't get, when someone is playing the golf course. And then the experience for a fan at a USGA Amateur Championship, there's no ropes. So you are up close and personal walking the fairways. I mean, when you tune into the US Amateur, you see that. There's this image in my head that I'll never forget from last year. I wasn't there still at the US Amateur, but Neil Shipley hits this shot, and he's walking through, hundreds, maybe 1,000 people in the fairway as he's approaching the green where his ball is like 1 foot away and he's going to win the match. He's just high-fiving everyone in the middle of the fairway. You don't see that in golf very much, so it's just so unique. And the last thing I'll say is that you are seeing people at the precipice of their career. So I think what's so special about a USGA championship is we touch someone's career at all of the highest levels: junior, amateur, the Opens, and then the Senior Opens. So, we knew Scotty Scheffler when he was a junior. We knew Rose Zhang. I mean, Rose developed into Rose at the U.S. Women's Amateur and the Girls Junior, and then she'll be here at the Women's Open. So it's just a special part of someone's career.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the names back to 2011 when the U.S. Amateur was here at Erin Hills. It was won by Kelly Craft, but it was Patrick Cantlay who he beat. It was Jordan Spieth who lost in one of those final rounds as well. You mentioned their blossoming careers. Now, the 4-ball in particular is something that most golfers know what that is, because if you're playing at a club, you're playing match play. That's what we're used to playing as a 2-team event. Explain the dynamics of how that works in those particular events for the men's and women's.
Yeah, so before the Adaptive Open and the Senior Women's Open, the four balls were our newest championships. They just had their 8th year. So for us, that's infancy because we're at the 125th U.S. Open next year. But the four balls are really special because you get to see a team dynamic that you don't see outside of, a Curtis Cup or Walker Cup, and those are so far and few between. So four ball is what it is. There's four balls. When you're with your buddies, you're either playing four ball or four sums. You would call it alternate shot. But four ball is your own ball, but you get to rely on your partner. So there's just a different strategy there. I mean, if your partner is, very much going to make par, you can really go for it, right? Or if you're completely out of the hole, your partner knows they need to play more conservatively. So you see a different kind of golf from still top level amateurs. I mean, the same guys, there's a group we called the Drews, Drew Kittleson and his partner, but he is in the mid-am right now. So these are the same people that are playing at the top levels of the game. They're just partnering up. So the four balls are really fun, and we're excited to bring them here. They've never been to the state of Wisconsin before.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it was about time. I mean, it's 8 years. I mean, what took you so long, right? I mean, 8 years in?
Here's the real curveball. The women's amateur is turning 125 next year. It will be the first time it comes to the state of Wisconsin. And you guys know how much we love Wisconsin, so it's a little bit of a surprise.
Okay, I got to talk about this because as happy as I am to have all these championships, I mean, you guys are kind of pushing the secret out. Like, we like that we have this underrated, incredible golf. We don't need the world to come here anymore.
I think Mike Wan did that last summer at the Senior Open when during the prize presentation, during the trophy ceremony of the Senior Open, he said, all right, Century World, the secret's out. You've got a great golf course here. So we haven't only done that to Century World, we've done that to the whole state.
I just want to put this out there. The next 15 years, yes, we're at Erin Hills, which is going to host 6 over the next 15 years. In addition to that, there's going to be 4 at Sand Valley. There's going to be 3 at Whistling Straits. So that's 13 events in the next 15 years the USGA has chosen to host here in Wisconsin. I mean, Gabe and I love it because we get to talk about these courses and these championships. For fans that are listening out there, the opportunity to come and witness some of these events. I mean, you mentioned that Wisconsin has great fans, but why these events in particular? Why do you think these will be a good draw for fans?
Yeah, I think it's the variety of what we're bringing as well. I mean, who comes to a women's open is not who comes to a U.S. amateur. So bringing, 5, 6 events here, you're going to get a different clientele for some of those. I mean, the women's open is a major sporting event in that it generates, event goers come or families come or sports fans come. Whereas the U.S. amateur is like pretty pure golf, Yeah. So it'll bring different people out. But I think, the state of Wisconsin and the golf fans here have been so supportive to us, and the golf courses are really good. Just people, like you said, might not have known that.
This just in.
Yeah, that's the thing I can't wrap my head around. As we talked with Julia Pine, Director of Communications from the USGA, again, making the announcement today, 5 more USGA championships coming to Erin Hills. But as Steven points out, 13 and 15 years in the state of Wisconsin. I mean, what is it? I mean, not just about the fans, but how did Wisconsin get so good at the golf courses that it's drawing the USGA?
I don't know. We
here?
don't live here, so we don't know. It might be the cheese curds or the spotted cow. But, John Bodenhammer was here earlier today, obviously on a flight out of here right now, or he'd be joining us. But, him and the leadership at the USGA have just built such great relationships here as well. And you probably saw that on display today. It's really genuine. We were here with Jim and Andy, who are, leaders here at Erin Hills, and the relationships that John has built with the folks over at Kohler and Sand Valley and our friends at Century World. I mean, it just happened to be in the same state. I don't think that part's intentional for us, but there's 4 really great places, and we're not going to let that stop us from coming back a lot.
So I know that you have a list prepared because I asked you to prepare it because I wasn't ready to look it up myself, and this is your job, not mine. But 13 clubs have hosted the U.S. Open, U.S. Women's Amateur, U.S. Amateur, and U.S. Women's Open. Erin Hills now joins that exclusive list. What are some of the other names on that list?
Yeah, so I won't roll them all off because it is not a long, but a pretty long list. But these are the top of the top courses in the country. So we've got Marion, we've got Oakland Hills, we've got Oakmont, we've got Pebble, we've got Pinehurst, and we've got Shinnecock. So a pretty illustrious list. I left off the Country Club. Erin Hills is in rarefied air there. And like we like to say, those are our 4 majors, the 2 opens, the 2 amateurs. As John Bodenhammer said today in 2020, when we were faced with really difficult choices, when we looked at our slate of 15 championships, we canceled all but those 4. Those are really important to us. 3 of the 4 have been around for 124 years. The Women's Open we inherited from another organization, and obviously about to hit its 80th year. So those are really special championships, and this is a special place to hold them.
Well, and I'm excited for the women's amateur coming here because I'm also excited for next year in the U.S. Women's Open. It feels like, especially in the women's game of golf, you mentioned Rose, but the year that Nelly had, now Lydia Ko's really, coming on strong at the end of the year. It feels like women's golf is just ready to explode, and I feel like this could be a really good place next year for a really good championship. I
agree, and this is near and dear to my heart. I'm just such a fan of women's sports and women's golf, and then you just see something different, when you come to a women's open. But I agree, something that's really special for us too is taking the women's open to U.S. Open venues. For us, those are our two most important championships, and we feel equally about both. And so to bring the women's open somewhere that has hosted a U.S. Open somewhat recently, we were able to do that at Pebble Beach, and the reception we got from fans, they got to watch the women who they may be less familiar with play a golf course they are familiar with, and there's something really special about that. To put the women on those stages and those platforms is something that we talk a lot about. The LPGA certainly talks a lot about. So I think there's a great recipe here for something special to happen.
What are you hoping the conditions are like in May? Because I know that was a big sticking point for a lot of people outside of the state of Wisconsin or outside of the USGA, just about the setup for the Open was the one thing you can't control, and that's Mother Nature, and it led to some lower scores than I think people were hoping for a U.S. Open. What are you hoping the weather's like here, having seen the property now?
Yeah, so we always say at the heart of it, we want the golf course to play as the architect intended it for it to play. So we're not here to trick anything up. So Mother Nature has a seat at the table. That's a part of the equation, but Shannon Roulard, who sets up the course for the Women's Open, she did a fantastic job at Lancaster this year. You mentioned Nelly had a little bit of trouble on a few of the holes, but one of the holes really. But it played as it should play. We're not doing anything different than what the golf course presents. We're just setting up the challenge. We want it to be hard, but we want it to be fair. And that's what all the players said coming off the golf course. So I think ultimately that's what we would want here. We want them to feel challenged more so than they do week to week on tour, but we want them to say that was a tough test and I enjoyed it.
But also, it's going to be the purest form of the tough test because then also announced today, which I thought was really cool, it happened in 2017 before the men. But how rare is it for a golf course to shut down before they have one of your major championships like that? Because Erin Hills, they said today, they are shutting down. They're not going to be open for public play until after the U.S. Women's Open next year.
Very rare. I mean, I can probably count it on one hand, the type of course or the courses that would do something like that for us. But it speaks to how they value and appreciate championship golf and value and appreciate these players. So when the women come here to play, they want to present the best golf course possible, and so do we. But we also understand that they're a business and, they own this place 365 days out of the year. So for them to do that, again, it speaks to why we keep coming back here. They're true partners and they want what we want, which is to present the best championship possible.
And there has to be just so much excitement coming off the Solheim Cup of where this game stands and where U.S. women's golf stands right now to have the faces here in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to be at Solheim, what was that, a week plus ago, and it pairs really nicely with what we've started at the USGA, which is the U.S. National Development Program. So that's something that we started earlier this year. We have a national junior team for the first time ever, which is a group of 10 girls and 8 boys who we hope are the future of the game. And American golf has certainly been strong before, but they haven't been supported by a program like that, like kids from Canada or Korea or Switzerland or Australia have. So we're supporting that in a way that has never been done before, and we hope that that means more major championships for American golfers, more Solheim Cups, more Ryder Cups. That's the ultimate goal of what we're doing here.
Julia, thank you so much for the time. Pleasure having you guys here. Of course, you guys know. You're welcome back to the state of Wisconsin, whether it's here, Whistling, whether it's Century World, Sand Valley, USGA.
I was going to say, if you need to look into housing, just
I know,
like Dave and I
know. We have Golf House Pinehurst. I don't know when we're going to have a Wisconsin office. We might need it.
Gosh, next 15 years, a little busy here. But we're happy to have you, and thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Gabe and I cannot wait to be back out here in May talking about women's golf and seeing the best in the world take on this course. It's a special place to us. and to so many in Wisconsin, and we're glad you guys feel the same.
Thank you guys for what you do.
Julia Pine, the Director of Communications from the USGA, joining us here live at Erin Hills. It was a special day here at Erin Hills. We are going to talk about that next. Of course, you can always join us at Erin Hills, host of the 2025 80th playing of the U.S. Women's Open. Always check out their website at erinhills.com. Our round out here today, we discuss it next on the tee.
Back to the course and on the tee with Gabe and Steven after this on 94.5 ESPN. Alex Stroh.
Is the fact that he's stepping into a really friendly system.
Gabe Neitzel.
They didn't give up more sacks is because Jordan is mobile. And
Jared Bush.
You're in Lambeau. You're the underdog. I think that's what you live for.
Talk green and gold ahead of the 2024 division opener. Green Bay Game Day, live from the shadows of Lambeau Field. Sunday morning starting at 9, right here on 94.5 FM. Streaming on the Wisconsin On Demand app and on video at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. When you've been seriously injured, you need the best team of professionals on your side. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices to get the results you deserve. One call, that's all.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And remember, football season is here and cooler temps are on the way, so do not wait. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free plus 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services in cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Basketball Greatest Scorers. Career points is nice, but the best way to judge scoring, points per game. Marquette's top 10 points per game. Number 1, Marcus Howard. Then George Thompson, Dwayne Wade, Jim Jones, and Dean Meminger the top 5. Don Kojas, Mike Moran, Bob Wolf, Terry Rand, and Tom Flynn, the rest of the top 10, got to be above 16 per game to make the list. Over 20 points per game for a career, only Marcus Howard and George Thompson. After a year of uncertainty, most employers are reluctant to make changes to their health insurance plans. A level funding medical insurance plan may be the answer you've been looking for. Find out how a level funding plan can cut your costs. For more information, call Eric Pearson at Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Eric Pearson, level funding. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
We know that the people of Wisconsin are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
You're listening to On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
The next best round of golf for you will happen at the Wisconsin Country Club. Hey, make sure you check it out. I'm Gabe Neitzel along with Stephen Watson. We are members out there, and do what we've done. Become members at the Wisconsin Country Club. No assessments, no food and beverage minimums, and a beautiful golf course that's fun and challenging. Tree-lined fairways, greatly groomed greens, and a top 100 teaching pro. Plus, the Wisconsin Country Club has tennis and pickleball courts and pool with themed Sunday fun days every week. Get started today. Visit thewisconsincountryclub.com for membership info. The Wisconsin Country Club, just a fairway away. We are hanging out at Erin Hills today, and I believe the sun somehow...
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's just peeking through. First time we've seen it all day.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice to see the sun right now.
Kind of a misty day out here at Erin Hills, but I can't help it, Steven, and I said this out on the golf course, like even when it's misty and it's not the best weather day, like I walk around this place with just a dumb little grin on my face. I love being out there, love walking this golf course, and we had a fun day today.
Yeah, if you don't notice a little extra pep in Gabe's voice right now, you should have seen this guy golf his ball today. How did that one feel? Can I say the number?
Say the number.
73 from Mr. Gabe Neitzel today at Erin Hills.
Yeah, so
that's a fun sentence to hear, huh?
So that's the 17 strokes better than the last time we were out here earlier this year.
You said that part. I chose to avoid that part.
I think it's worth pointing out. Just shows how strange and funny this game can be sometimes. That is, in relation to par, the best round I have played. Have
definitely the most fun I've had watching you play the game of golf.
Yeah, we got hot a little bit there today. There's some ups and downs, and the crazy part is I shoot a 73, and there's still some shots I want back because it could have been a really special day, but it was still
because you're one of us.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's the way it goes when you play golf.
Correct.
But we had a good foursome. It was you, me, Greg Matzik, Vince Vitrano from WTMJ. By the way, the ESPN Milwaukee boys did come out victorious because the 4-ball is coming here. We figured we'd play a little 4-ball of our own, and when I shoot 73.
Tough for everybody.
Kind of makes it.
I'm glad we were not playing a singles match in light of the amateur. Also.
Yeah, but it was one of those days where everything was working. You have a good swing thought that's kind of working, and you ride that the best you can. And it always helps when you have literally the best caddy on property.
Yeah.
Carrying your bag.
Shout out to our guy Julius. He caddied for us when we were out here earlier for our live remote back in May for being out here at Erin Hills, who's been a long-time supporter of this show, and it means the world to us. And we're so excited for what they're hosting. And Julius was on our bag then. He witnessed both of us that day. We did a fun segment with him that day of, all right, we'll both interview you about the other person.
Yeah.
And how can we get better? Where do we need to go? And Julius laid it out there, and I think his big thing for you was avoiding the big misses.
Yeah.
And you were driving the heck out of your golf ball today. And I've told anybody who cares to listen about our golf games, when you have your driver going, there is no number that is too low for you.
So what was crazy about today is anytime you make a 2 on number 9 here, when you make a 2 on that hole, make a birdie on that hole, chances are there's not going to be a better hole that you play. Like it's a very tough hole. I was the only one that hit the green, and both Greg and Vince were in bunkers. It's such a hard hole.
Yeah.
Colloquially, everybody, shortest par 5. Because, again, you don't hit the green. It's a tough up and down. It is a tough bogey a lot of times.
Yeah.
If you miss that green.
15 yards worth of wind and a mist in your face as well. And the elements made it even more challenging.
So made a 2 on that hole, but that was not the only 2. That wasn't the best 2 of the day.
No.
It wasn't the best 2 of the day. And so we got to the 11th tee box today, and we're playing back on the green tees. We were playing the green-white combos today. And we're on the green tee, and Julius tells you, hey, you hit your 2-iron out there. It'll be perfect. You can be more aggressive. A lot of, fairway on the right. And he goes, Gabe, he hands me my 3-iron. And I looked at him, I go, what's the carry of the bunkers on the left? And he's like, ooh. And you kind of see I see what you're doing.
I hear you clucking, big chicken.
Yeah, and he kind of got into it. So I'm like, all right, this isn't a terrible idea. I just wanted to know. So he looked at it, and it was down to it. And he's like, it's like a 300 carry over those bunkers. All right, so we take out the driver. And unbeknownst to me, somebody in the group was doubting this strategic play.
Okay, I've golfed with you enough.
Yep.
I've golfed with you on this property enough to know that as good as you could play for a long stretch, I've seen your wheels come off quickly.
It happened here last year.
And it happens with the big stick.
Yeah.
So I loved the fact that Julius was having you lay up and just keep hitting greens. Keep hitting greens. Because if you miss a fairway out here, the fescue does not care.
Correct.
So Gabe is, I kid you not, in his backswing of his drive, and I whisper in the ear of Greg Matzik, I hate this decision for Gabe. Because as your friend, co-host, supporter of said golf game, I wanted the best for you.
Partner in the game today?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I'm not used to being your partner.
Yeah, that's fair.
I hated it for you.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't want to see the wheels come off.
Well,
and what did you do? You hit the best drive. We've been golfing together for 5+ years.
Yeah.
We've probably played tens of, close to 100 rounds of golf together. And that was the best drive I've ever seen you hit.
I think it might be one of the best drives I've ever hit. Yeah. Yeah.
Given the spot that you needed to land your golf ball over the bunker on the left to hit the slot to take you to the green, I don't think I could drop my ball where you hit your ball. It was incredible.
Yeah, so I ended up driving the green on 11. As good as the drive was, the putt might have been better.
Yeah. Shout out to Julius there.
Again, but when
my man didn't miss a read.
When you've got the best caddy out here, who's been out here since day one, this guy probably knows reads on greens that don't even exist out here anymore. And we ended up making it 2 on a par 4 today.
And a big fist pump out of you. You were fired up, and we all were fired up. But there was a true Tiger-like. I wish I had a freeze frame of you fist in the air with that.
Again, it was. I mean, how far was the putt? Like 30, 35 feet, something like that. And you don't drive greens on par 4s all that often. So then when you cash in a long putt on top of it, and to do it out here, it's something special. Something special.
It just felt like today was your day. And the wheels got away from you a little bit. Couple holes later on 14.
Yeah.
So 14 and we can both probably flush that one from our memory banks. We played it very differently and made the same 7. But, mine was 5 strokes within 60 yards. Yours was
a lot of strokes a long ways away from the green.
Yeah, but all roads led to a 7. But let's forget about that. I have to describe a scene that you have no idea what I'm about to describe to everybody listening. So I've detailed on this show, when Gabe's not playing well, he tends to walk by himself. He's trying to get in the right mental space. He's just trying to go through his process. When Gabe's playing really well, and I don't think I've ever seen you like this.
Okay.
We were on the tee box at 17.
Yeah.
At this point, I know that Gabe is even par on the day. So I'm thinking, let's just get home.
Yeah.
Par finish.
I was thinking the same thing. Honestly, you know what I was thinking? All right, par here, and then going into a par 5, maybe something special happens.
So Gabe is, I believe you led off because we were coming off of 16.
I made a birdie.
A birdie on 16 to get back that stroke that you gave up on the double. So you're back to even. You birdie the par 3 16th. You hit your tee shot. It was a little left, but Julius was not worried about it. Do you remember what you were like after that?
No.
Gabe Neitzel was like, if you've been to the zoo and you see one of the caged big cats that are just pacing around the window side to side.
Yeah.
That was what Gabe was doing behind us on the tee box. He was like watching because he was engaged in the group. Between every shot, he put his head down and he was walking side to side. You looked like a tiger in a cage that just wanted to break loose.
Yeah.
And I could tell I was dying on the inside because I was like, man, he wants this so bad. And we all wanted it for you.
Yeah.
But in that moment, just watching you pace side to side,
so it's funny.
Side to side, I could tell that your wheels were turning every which way of how can I finish this par.
So funny you should mention that. Unfortunately, I had a 3-putt there. Put it on the front of the green. That was pin on 17 all the way back. Long putt. Didn't get it nearly close enough. But funny you should mention that. So back in the beginning of August, when I was playing in the member guest and we were in the shootout, me and my partner in Madison, after the round, I was in the bar talking with some of the people, and one of the guys I had kind of gotten to know a little bit through our group earlier in the week had come over and goes, "Man, you must have been really nervous." Why would you say that? He goes, "Because every time you weren't hitting a shot, because he was alt shot, like you were just taking laps around the green."
Yeah.
So I was just
this is a hard enough walk as it is, and I think Gabe added an extra few thousand steps just walking around his tee box.
That's what I do. I get this. I don't know if it's because it wasn't a nervousness, because I was playing well. Like in the two shots I hit, I three putted 7. It happens. Like I felt like I was swinging well. It's just you have this energy, and I'm a pacer.
No, it was definitely not a negative energy.
Yeah.
It was an energy of anticipation.
Yeah.
Like I watch enough professional golf to know guys' ticks, right? So Justin Thomas is a guy whose tick, he plays with his collar like crazy.
Yeah.
When he's locked in to a big hole or a big shot, he just lifts his collar. For you, it was just back and forth. Back and forth. And it was like, head up, nice shot, Greg, back and forth. It was really interesting to watch.
Yeah, so
and Julius and I had a good laugh about it, because I was like, Gabe wants this so bad.
Well, so again, I've never broken par. I've never shot even par. That's just not something I've ever done. So
to do it on this property.
That's what I'm saying. So to walk into 17 and be at even par and be like, this is a real possibility. Like you not only could you be even par, but with 18 on a par 5, you could make something happen. And unfortunately it didn't happen today for me, but it still ended up being a great round. It was the round of the year for me.
Yeah, I honestly, for me, 72 versus 73 did not change. It was special to witness you golf your ball like that. 9 and 11, the way you played those two holes against the elements and with the elements was it was fun, man. It's fun. I always tell people, like, when you have that driver going, you make the game look easy.
It's different. It just becomes different, because if I'm in play, it's a lot of wedges.
Yeah, I mean it's like the closest thing to when you see Bryson. He's never out of a hole because he hits the ball so far. He just can become a good scrambler. And you didn't even need to scramble a lot today.
No.
In some spots you did.
Yeah, a couple of spots you had to get up and down, but it was a really fun day. And the fact that we had the group that we did, the caddies that we did, ended up being a really special day, which is why we always tell you, if you have the opportunity, again, we understand how fortunate we are to come out here and play in on days like today. If you have the opportunity, I cannot recommend this experience enough.
Because as you brought up at the beginning, you still smiled through a 90.
Yeah.
And you smiled through a 73.
Yeah, it had a little different energy apparently for the 73 on the 17th hole.
Yeah, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
In a fun way.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, this walk is unlike anything in that I've experienced so far in the state of Wisconsin. I mean, we talk about these courses, and we detailed it in the last segment with Julie. Like, you could pick your favorite kid out here when you have golf experiences in this state. Find the way to make these experiences happen for yourself, because it's an experience you will not ever forget. And if you do it with the right people, which is half the battle, it's truly better than any sporting experience you could imagine. And that's what I always tell people when they see some of these greens fee prices, and I say, how much would you pay to go to a Bucks playoff game, a Brewers playoff game? You can do that out here.
Yeah.
Look, and it's a 5-hour experience that you'll never forget.
First thing I'm going to say, if you haven't been out here, come out for the U.S. Women's Open.
Yeah.
Come out in May. It's late May. I believe that the Sunday of the tournament is June 1st. So it's going to be fantastic next year. See the property and then come out and play it.
Yeah, and because a lot of people don't think they're good enough golfers to play here, which is totally understandable. It is a U.S. Open course for a reason. So to your point, come watch the best in the world do it and get to walk this property, because it really you can't believe that this is 45 minutes away from Milwaukee.
Well, yeah, and no offense to our foursome today, because I loved our foursome today, and this was probably my second favorite round out here. My favorite round out here I've ever played was with my parents.
Yeah,
and both of them, they don't play a ton of golf. They try to when they can, and they're not spectacular golfers. They came out here and had a blast because you can still keep your golf ball in front of you enough out here. It's the tricky thing out here of being wide enough that you're not losing a lot of golf balls.
Yeah.
And yet being challenging enough where, it's still going to be challenging if you're a low handicapper. So if you're a high handicapper, you can still come out here, have a blast, have a really good time, and just enjoy the hospitality. We heard Julia from the USGA talking about the partnership that they have with Erin Hills and just the stewards that they have here at Erin Hills. I mean, that hospitality is their number one thing. They want to make sure you're enjoying yourself, you're having a good time. Even if the golf isn't the best, you can't always control that. But the people out here at Erin Hills can control the time.
And the USGA recognizes it, but I hope people out there appreciate the sacrifice that this property is making to make sure the U.S. Women's Open shines in a proper way next May by not opening up the course to anybody. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars that they are committing to making sure that this place looks as perfect as it can be, which is a crazy sentence because every time I play this place, it's always in incredible conditions. I can't even imagine what this will look like with nobody on the property before the end of May when the U.S. Women's Open is here.
Well, this is one of the places that our friend Jason at Wisconsin Golf Trips will bring people to, certainly from outside of the state. His main job, taking people from outside Wisconsin, playing some of the great golf we always talk about here in Wisconsin, but he also can take you to outside of Wisconsin, places like Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, or like Scotland and Ireland. We're leaving for Scotland in a couple of weeks. Can't wait to be talking about that trip when we're over there. But he can book that for you as well. Wisconsin Golf Trips, a one-stop shop for your next golf getaway, handling all the tee times, lodging, other logistics, plus transportation, even dinner reservations. Jason and his team at Wisconsin Golf Trips can do it all. From local courses to Ireland and Scotland, make your golf trips a hole-in-one with Wisconsin Golf Trips. And Wisconsin Golf Trips presents On the Tee.
No ifs, ands, or puts. There's more On the Tee with Gabe and Steven coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Kevin Van Rossum, president of Three Tree Marketing. Send gifts to appreciate anyone, anywhere, anytime with a gift of your choice by using our gifting solutions technology. Our team handles it all, from concepting, site creation, as well as production of branded products. Elevate your brand's connection to its consumers by creating the ultimate gifting experience with us. Make the art of gifting effortless for yourself. At Three Tree Marketing, we chase partners, not orders. Visit threetreemarketing.com to see what we can do for you.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to treasury management, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. At Fields, we have a great selection of Range Rovers, Defenders, and Discoveries. Every model in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery. Stop by or visit online.
Plus, you'll become a member of the Fields Amenities Program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and gourmet coffee service, all at no charge. Integrity and customer satisfaction will always be the force that drives our business. To put it simply, Fields matters because you matter. At Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Cousins Subs is spicing things up this fall with a new sub and a delicious shake. The Chipotle Cheesesteak Sub with either grilled-to-order chicken or steak features pepper jack cheese, sautéed green peppers and onions, jalapenos, and Chipotle ranch dressing. And that's not all. Pair your Chipotle cheesesteak with a new pumpkin pie shake and your taste buds will fall in love. Order in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
The next best round of golf for you will happen at the Wisconsin Country Club. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. Do what I did. Become a member at the Wisconsin Country Club. There's no assessments, no food and beverage minimums, and a beautiful course that is fun and challenging. Tree-lined fairways, specially groomed greens, and a top 100 teaching pro. Plus, the Wisconsin Country Club has tennis and pickleball courts and a pool with themed Sunday fun days every week. Get started today and visit thewisconsincountryclub.com for membership information. The Wisconsin Country Club, just a fairway away.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. So book your next tee time by calling 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog. Live from Erin Hills, where the USGA announced today 5 more USGA championships after next year's 80th playing of the U.S. Women's Open comes here to Erin Hills, meaning 10 championships. 10 USGA championships here at Erin Hills since, again, this golf course opened after the year 2000. So to get that many national championships is such an honor for everyone here at Erin Hills. We were excited to be out here today, see John Bodenheimer make the announcements, of course, including a men's amateur coming back, the U.S. Women's Am coming here for the first time, along with a 4-ball championship. And a junior championship. All sorts of exciting stuff happening here at Erin Hills. But on the PGA Tour this week, it is time for the President's Cup. I feel like I want to be excited for this, Stephen, but this is one of the things that I feel is most affected by the direct split in golf. Yeah. I feel the President's Cup and the Players are probably the two PGA Tour entities that have suffered the most. The Players still certainly a prestigious tournament, but you're missing a lot of the big names. And the same thing here. Yes, you wouldn't have the Europeans like John Rahm or Sergio Garcia, but some of the other big international names like Joaquin Niemann would be playing in this. You would be getting a Cam Smith in for the internationals here, and I really feel like this is missing those international players even more than it would miss a Brooks and Bryson on the American side.
Mainly for competitive reasons,
yes,
right? I mean,
100%.
Team USA has just dominated this event. So it's kind of a bad position, though, for Team USA to be in, just knowing that they've won 12 of 14 of these President's Cups. They kind of have to win this one. And without your stalwarts that have been on the Ryder Cup team, a guy like Brooks Koepka, a lot of these guys have a lot to prove. And when I look at this Team USA roster, I still feel confident that they're going to make it 13 of 15.
It's still very much better than the international team.
Yeah, the international team is just frankly weak. And there's not a lot of guys on the international team that are in great form. There's some feel-good stories with 3 different Canadians on there behind Mike Weir, who's the Canadian captain, and they're playing in Royal Montreal. But I frankly look at this as if USA doesn't dominate, it feels like a loss because we're talking about the next wave of USA golf.
Now, I don't know if you saw the Adam Schupak piece that he had out there. He's friendly with Jim Furyk. They were exchanging text messages, and Schupak floated out the idea to Furyk, who is Team USA captain, that maybe to bring more intrigue to the President's Cup, that the international team actually has to win one, because it's been a very long time since the international team has won one. And Furyk basically told him to bleep off. So I don't know which side of this you are on, but
well,
at least...
I mean, we're talking about legacy for Jim Furyk.
Yeah.
Right? That's the wrong guy to say,
correct.
Let's let him win one so that we start to feel like it's more of a rivalry.
Correct. And I feel like I don't get that excited. And the last time around when it was here in the United States at Quail Hollow, the first couple of days were pretty competitive, and they do it a little differently. They just have They have 5 matches on day 1, so 2 guys from each team are sitting out. I believe it's 4-ball on day 1. Then alt shot, same thing, 5 matches day 2, and then they pare it down and do what they do in the Ryder Cup: 4 matches on day 3, and then you finish up with the singles matches. So there are a few more points out there to get.
Yeah, 30 total.
Yeah, and you spread it out more than what we see in the Ryder Cup, but. I felt last time around 2 years ago, it was still very competitive. I don't see that this time. If this thing's competitive, I will tune in. If it's not, look, I mean, there's a lot of really good football being played on Sundays and Saturdays and a lot of other things going on where if this is not competitive, it's not going to grab my attention.
The timing is an obvious miss for the PGA Tour, who organizes the President's Cup, right? Is when you're trying to compete over a weekend with the NFL, you've already missed.
Well,
they need to reschedule this at a time.
This is what I liked about the Solheim Cup, which happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
The Solheim Cup, it is what it is on Friday and Saturday. You're going up a little bit against college football. I mean, college football's so spread out anyway. But then on Sunday, they made sure, I think their matches wrapped up by 2 p.m., right? So, yeah, if you're a diehard NFL fan, you're probably not tuning into the Solheim Cup. But if you're someone like us who, still wants to keep an eye on some of the things happening in the NFL, you can still catch the end of that early window and then still have the 3:25 games, the primetime games. They made sure they were teeing off early enough with their singles matches where they could, yes, there was a little crossover, but basically get out of the way of the NFL.
Well, luckily for them, too, it didn't get to the final few matches.
Yeah, that helped
for
too.
it to
that
truly matter. I mean, the crossover wasn't too dramatic there. I will say the one thing about President's Cup that I caution people when they're viewing it is don't view it as the Ryder Cup.
No.
We get an opportunity to see team match play, and that's not something we get enough in professional golf. I think it's going to be a big change. You're going to see it with TGL. But I think it's going to be something when they start to build schedules moving forward, when they think about the future of the game, that they're going to start to do more, because I think, to tie it back full circle to what we're witnessing in the announcement here at Erin Hills, like, match play is so fun. And it truly is a cool viewing experience, and it's a great spectator experience as well. And I think we're going to start to see it more on the PGA Tour. Not this upcoming year, because they've already announced their schedule. And as LIV and the PGA Tour continue to be splintered and further apart, I think that this is a path forward for how the PGA Tour can grow as more team events. So try to view the President's Cup as uniquely different from the Ryder Cup. Granted, guys are trying to set themselves up to be on future Ryder Cup teams, because that is still the pinnacle of match play golf in the sports. But I think it's unique how they do President's Cup with 30 matches and the 9 different foursomes and 9 different 4-ball events. And what's also fun, and I can't believe the Ryder Cup has not adopted this, it feels like the captains have a little bit more creative power over how the matches are played. Because when you have the Ryder Cup, you present your teams, and you say, here's who's going to be our A, B, C, D, and you just turn in a card, right? When they do President's Cup, it's like your fantasy football snake draft. So because the USA won in 2022, Jim Furyk is going to say, this is our first group for foursomes. Weir has an opportunity to respond, and then he gets the next choice for match 2. It's kind of a fun, unique thing, and I hope the PGA Tour and golf lean into that as a spectator experience of what the draw looks like and player reaction, because I think that's a fun element of the President's Cup that we don't get in Ryder Cup.
I should probably know this, but do they still put the name in the envelope in case the tiebreaker?
That I don't know.
Okay. So this is the one vivid thing that I have from when I was a junior in high school. This might have been my senior year of high school, when the Ryder Cup was being played in South Africa, and this is the only one that ended in a tie.
Yeah.
And so they
2003.
2003. So it ended in a tie, and there is a tiebreaker. There used to be in the President's Cup. Don't know if there is anymore. And the way that they would be settling it is each captain wrote a name in an envelope, and those two players would then play sudden death.
Oh, hell yeah. Give me that.
So Jack was the captain for Team USA. Gary Player was the captain for the international team, and it was Tiger versus Ernie. Now, it ended up being a tie overall. I think they played 3 or 4 playoff holes, and it got way too dark, and they couldn't see, and nobody really wanted to come back and play to completion the next morning. So they decided to, hey, this is going to be it. But I don't know if they do that anymore.
Well, you know my thoughts on how Solheim Cup ends in a tie, and you just retain the cup. I think that's just awful. And with 30 points out there is an opportunity for another tie. I would love to see the blind envelope.
So what they should do is you write down 2 names. You write down a name from your team and a name from the other team. The other team writes down, the same. And then those are the 4 players who go out and play alt shot.
Oh!
That's what they should do.
That's what we're talking about, Gabe Neitzel.
That's a free idea that they can just take. I am giving that to them. That's
how we should do one full day of that. Don't give me that as a tiebreaker format.
That would be, how cool would that be? I think that'd be a lot of fun.
It takes all of the strategy and the years of build-up and overanalyzing the analytics to just be like, go out there and play with this guy.
Yeah. So now
they think you're the worst.
Yeah, right?
Go out there and
show them.
Oh, I love that.
The next best round of golf for you will happen at the Wisconsin Country Club. Make sure you do what I did. Become a member at Wisconsin Country Club. No assessments, no food and beverage minimums. Beautiful golf course that is fun, that I love. But, of course, other things as well. Maybe you're somebody that has a family, wants to play tennis or pickleball or head to the pool with Theme Sunday Fun Days each and every week. Wisconsin Country Club has that for you as well. Check out the website, thewisconsincountryclub.com, for membership info. The Wisconsin Country Club, just a fairway away, will give you our Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all, around the President's Cup next on the tee.
Forget about changing that dial. More On the Tee with Gabe and Steven next on 94.5 ESPN. On this show, it's always football season.
And your argument was that the coaches wanted him to return it.
Yeah, I think,
and he very clearly said no.
They wanted him to take it to the house.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Play the results, are we?
That's what coaches do sometimes, yeah.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
WTMJ's Brandon Snod for Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is there hosting their Fall Fest and their second annual Colorama Ride on Saturday, October 5th. Bring 2 canned goods for the Oconomowoc Food Pantry and receive a raffle ticket. The riding starts at 9 a.m. If you don't have a bike, don't worry. Bring your kids and enter the coloring contest. It is fun for the whole family on Saturday, October 5th at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. Check out WISHD.com or like and follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-216-7531. 800-216-7531. That's 800-216-7531.
Go to the
ahead of the class on your next vehicle purchase. Exclusively at the Cunis Auto Group's Back to School sales event.
Good morning, class.
Expect a straight A passing grade when you add up the savings on your next vehicle from the automotive scholars at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealerships. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs from both Buick and GMC. All marked down with September back-to-school discounts and savings. We're also offering incredible back-to-school discounts on our entire inventory of select pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 1,500 vehicles on lot and online. While online, check out dozens of back-to-school service specials on everything from brakes, tires to oil changes. Plus, with a test driver purchase each week in September, 4 lucky winners will win free gas for a year. All at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealerships in both Oak Creek and Greenfield. It's the Cunis Auto Group's exclusive September back-to-school sales event going on now. For additional event info, go to shopcunis.com.
The next best round of golf for you will happen at the Wisconsin Country Club. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. Do what I did. Become a member at the Wisconsin Country Club. There's no assessments, no food and beverage minimums, and a beautiful course that is fun and challenging. Tree-lined fairways, specially groomed greens, and a top 100 teaching pro. Plus, the Wisconsin Country Club has tennis and pickleball courts and a pool with themed Sunday fun days every week. Get started today and visit thewisconsincountryclub.com for membership information. The Wisconsin Country Club, just a fairway away.
It's On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
Big thank you to everybody out here at Erin Hills for having us here on the tee. Stephen Watson, Gabe Neitzel, and again, Steve Peace, John Morissette, Jim Lombardo, the entire team out here at Erin Hills. Again, they are proud that they are hosting 5 more USGA championships here coming up soon. But we do have to make our Gruber Law Offices one call. That's all before we get out of here. Stephen, you've got a good question for us this week.
So we talked about the President's Cup. Who on Team USA is going to score the most points? Not who is going to win between USA and the Internationals. Who on Team USA is going to record the most points? Last time out, it was Max Homa, who was perfect at this event. Do you think he's going to have a repeat performance?
I kind of feel it's trying to figure this out is okay, who is going to be sitting the least? Who's going to be playing? Obviously, everyone has their singles match. I feel like Max is a pretty good partner, even though he's not coming in with very good form. But I think I'm going to take Max Homa.
Ooh,
because
okay.
I also think that Max is going to be getting, whoever Scotty's playing with, presumably Sam Burns and Xander Schauffele. Like, when those guys get posted up there, I think Mike Weir has to counter with, Hideki and Adam Scott and Tom Kinn, all these guys at the top. I think that leaves Max Homa an opportunity at the bottom because I still think he's going to play enough. That's why he's on this team, because he has that record in the President's and Ryder Cup. I'm going with Max Homa.
Yeah, 4-0 in the 2022 President's Cup, 3-1-1 at the Ryder Cup. He had 30% of America's points at the Ryder Cup, but we don't need to talk about that.
Oh, ouch.
I'm going to go with the guy who, in your mind, was the PGA Player of the Year in Xander Schauffele. 6-3 record in 2019 and 2022. He was 4-3 with Patrick Cantlay. Those guys just don't lose together. Xander's going to be a part of every match. I think he has the best opportunity to score the most points for Team USA.
Should be fun to watch with the President's Cup up at Royal Montreal. Again, the sun is setting, a beautiful setting. I see some fire out there here at Erin Hills. Thank you to everybody out here at Erin Hills, and congratulations to the team for getting 5 more USGA championships. We'll be back next week. Special episode with a little feature on Tuckaway Country Club next week on the Tee. Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to